Angela, and I'm sure everyone is agreed with me that we're so happy that you didn't stay quiet, because that's what the Islamic regime, that's what the IRGC wants us to do, stay quiet, and therefore they can actually execute everyone in prison. Anyone who just raises his or her voice saying that we don't want this will be executed. So public attention is the key, and that's why we're here, to keep public attention very active on a daily basis and bring to everyone's attention all the names of women, men, and even children who are in prison, who are being killed on the street by the Islamic regime. So the key is to keep public attention active, to get our politicians active, to get an international support in order to be able to force the regime to backtrack and finally get rid of this murderous regime. The next speaker is Paniz Gorji. She's a member of the Association of Families of Victims of Flight PS752. Paniz lost her sister, Pune Gorji, and her brother-in-law, Arash Purzarabi, in the flight PS752. On the 8th January 2020, flight PS752 was shot down with 2 missiles by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corporation, IRGC Corp, who everyone is asking that it should be on the list of terrorists, but they haven't been yet. And only 3 minutes after the flight took off from the Tehran airport, 176 passengers were murdered, including 29 children in that flight, and the crew who lost their lives in them. This is yet another example of crime against humanity that Islamic regime is proud of doing, and we are here to make sure that they can't get away with these crimes. Please give a warm welcome to Paniz.
Sorry, I'm not a good speaker as everyone else, so I had to bring my own notes. My name is Paniz Gorji. I lost my sister Pune and her husband Arash in the downing of flight PS752. My sister and her husband were students at the University of Alberta. They were visiting Iran to celebrate their wedding with family and friends on their way back to Canada, along with 174 other innocent people and also unborn child. They were murdered by IRGC in the sky of Tehran. A couple of hours earlier, Iran launched missile attacks on 2 military bases in Iraq and anticipated the potential counterattack from the United States. The Revolutionary Guard, in the midst of this tense situation, fired 2 missiles at a Ukrainian passenger plane as it was departing from Tehran. After 3 days lying that the crash was due to engine failure, and the authorities persistently denying any involvement in the tragic event, the Revolutionary Guard eventually accepted the responsibility for the attack. However, they attributed it to human error. So basically one person, one operator was responsible. Who believes that? They continue to assert that the tragedy resulted from a misjudgment of that operator. But we all know, based on ample evidence, that our loved ones were victims of a dreadful crime. They planned to shoot the plane to make sure the US won't retaliate. They committed a horrendous murder to feed their propaganda. Imagine the case of MH17, and the Dutch government is the one who plans to shoot the plane. Shortly after, they commenced with the behavior that we all anticipated from them. Killing innocent people and then pressuring, harassing, persecuting, and threatening the families. This is what happened to PS752 and arranged murder by Khamenei's forces. My sister was standing in line to get on board, and IRGC was planning to kill her and other passengers with 2 missiles. Without delay, bulldozers were sent to the scene following the incident. The belongings of all the passengers were stolen, and the bulldozers proceeded to traverse over the remains of the victims and the scattered fragments of the aircraft. Additionally, personal devices such as cell phones were either tampered with or completely destroyed. 177 sealed coffins covered in the Islamic Republic flag were delivered without proper forensic investigation, and it was later revealed that even the DNA tests were not done properly. Pune and Arash were married only for 7 days. They never got the chance to finish their studies. My sister was an AI researcher working on a model that can learn to identify diseases from medical scans faster and more accurately. The results of her work got published. She never saw it. In months following the downing, Iran's revolutionary court have handed down sentences to tens of individuals who took part in peaceful protests against the January plane crash. These sentences collectively amount to over 20 years in prison. However, no individual responsible for the incident have been identified or brought to trial yet. The victims didn't know that the individuals who launched the missiles at them, they were not foreign enemies, but they're rather domestic felons who for more than 44 years have held an entire nation captive. My sister was neither the first victim of the brutal regime nor the last one. The Islamic Republic has a history of 44 years of oppression and murder, imprisonment of innocent people. The Islamic regime has only one means to retain control, and that's by inducing fear among people, compelling them to submit. For instance, the massacre of 1980, where thousands of political prisoners were executed, hoping that it destabilizes their tyranny. Following recent revolutionary movements, hundreds of people have been arbitrarily arrested, tortured, restricted to legal access, and got lengthy sentences. Today, in the International Day in support of political prisoners in Iran, I, as a member of the Association of the Families of Live PS752 Victims, stand in solidarity with all the brave men and women who are courageously fighting for Iran in the prisons of the Islamic regime. Their courage and determination has inspired countless individuals around the world who also stand in solidarity with them. Despite the hardship they face, their voices has echoed beyond the prison walls, reaching the hearts of those who believe in the power of truth and the importance of fighting for a better future for Iran. I want to say to them, stay strong, hold on to hope, and know that there are many who stand by your side. Together we'll strive for a future where freedom, justice, and human rights prevails. Thank you.